What's up, Geeks and Gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about the disaster known as the Acolyte. Because Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, Leslye Headland, they have screwed this up so bad that even me, a big-time critic of Disney Star Wars, if I was to write a story about how bad to screw all of this up, I'm not sure I could have written a better or a worse story, depending on your perspective, than what they've actually done. It really is amazing, and now everyone is realizing it. Everyone understands what we've been talking about for all of this time, and it is glorious to witness. We have now reached a point where the masses are just saying, we would rather watch YouTubers roast Disney Star Wars than to actually watch Disney Star Wars. That has been a massive, massive narrative recently, especially with the Acolyte. People are like, I don't even watch Disney Star Wars anymore. I just wait for YouTubers to roast it, because that's the only entertainment you can get out of it, is watching people roast it. So here you have the Rotten Tomatoes score of 14% from the audience. This is from That Park Place, and it says, the Acolyte showrunner Leslye Headland claims negative reviews for her show are review bombing. She previously claimed she was sad the show was being dismantled. Well, that's interesting that you're really upset about review bombing, because Wired came out with an article last week, and it says the Acolyte and the long-awaited death of review bombing, where they featured me and many other YouTubers in this article. I'm the very first one they mentioned, and I greatly appreciate it. But ultimately, if you get down to the bottom where it says, ultimately, it all comes down to time. Audiences hadn't seen anything like Star Wars, the movie, when Lucas released it in 1970. It filled a void. Nearly 50 years later, they've seen perhaps too many things like it. The only way for Star Wars, the franchise, to stay relevant is to let other people do new things with it. What the world may need from sci-fi in 2024 isn't what it needed from sci-fi in the 70s. Not every installment will appeal to every fan. Some of them may not appeal to any of the fans. One show cannot ruin a franchise, especially not when it comes on the heels of excellence like Andor and The Mandalorian. All of which to say, review bombing is over. Not because people should stop doing it or because no one was really doing it to begin with. Rather, it's finished as a concept. Expressing displeasure via audience scores may seem like a good way to get Kathleen Kennedy's attention, but now that everything she produces becomes subject of some fan debate about its authenticity, she likely doesn't notice. Rotten Tomatoes isn't Yelp, and Star Wars isn't a local business trying to keep loyal customers. It's a global franchise with space for lots of stories. Some of them may not be for everyone. Well, if it's not getting their attention, then why is the showrunner, Leslye Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, why is she acknowledging it and claiming that it's review bombing if it doesn't matter? I'm calling bullshit on that Wired article, because they know that it's affecting the executives at Lucasfilm. They know it, and they're trying to dismiss it, saying, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother these guys. You guys don't need to worry about that. Well, that's not the case. And let's not forget, this all started before the series even came out, because they knew, Kathleen Kennedy knew, that this was a pile of shit. This was before the Acolyte even came out. Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy says a lot of women in Star Wars struggle with fan attacks because of the fan base being so male-dominated. Imagine actively attacking your fan base before a show even comes out, because you know you have such a bad show. You know that you're going to have to preemptively get ahead of that criticism curve and go ahead and build that fake victim narrative. And that's exactly what they did. So they got ahead of it, attacking the fans. And now that the product is out and we're 6 episodes in, now they're continuing to double down and triple down on those efforts to attack the fan base, and nobody's buying it. We even have a video here from Asmongold Clips, and it says Star Wars has hit rock bottom. I have not even watched the video yet. It's only 1 minute and 33 seconds long, so we're going to watch this, because everybody is waking up to the reality that Star Wars sucks. Disney does not understand Star Wars at all, and it has completely fallen apart.
They're starting to get really desperate. Oh, this is another thing about the Acolyte. The Acolyte showrunner, Leslye Headland, says that the Elden Ring community inspired the lack of armor on Star Wars show's villain. When you summon people, you always summon people that aren't wearing anything. Okay.
The Acolyte showrunner was just interviewed about her show, and, well, I'm just going to read her quote.
So much of Khmer was understanding how to use your body and not just standing there in a suit or being encumbered by a suit. We were like, we have to get him in something flowy. As soon as I said he didn't have armor, everyone lost their mind. How can you not have armor? I was like, why would you wear armor if you're not going to get hit? It's like the Elden Ring costume, the Elden Bling. When you summon people, you always summon the people that aren't wearing anything. And it's like, these people are fucking crazy.
So, you know what this tells me? This tells me that she's probably never played Elden Ring, number one. Number two, the one time she read an article, it was about this guy with the pot on his head. She probably didn't see your run? No, I bet she fucking didn't. Yeah, she didn't know shit about the wall. And also, by the way, nobody uses armor really in Star Wars. The only person who has armor, really, Darth Vader had a suit, but he had to have a suit. In the Acolytes, this dude headbutted a lightsaber and the saber broke. I've seen that. So, like, if you headbutted the light, why wouldn't you just get him in his shoulder? I don't know. I mean, how can you possibly know?
Meanwhile, I'm still trying to figure out what is the Elden Ring. What the fuck?
You know something else that Leslye Headland has never experienced besides a penis? Star Wars. She's never watched Star Wars. She's never watched Star Wars. She knows nothing about it. Whenever she was asked about what her favorite Star Wars movie was, her answer was all the Star Wars. That was her answer. Has anybody ever answered that way? Has any Star Wars fan ever said, all the Star Wars are my favorite?
Tell me, what kind of Star Wars fan are you?
I am the type of Star Wars fan that doesn't even have a favorite movie. I just want to live in the universe of Star Wars continually, in perpetuity, forever. So when people are like, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? I'm like, there is no Star Wars movie. There is only Star Wars.
No, every Star Wars fan argues. And you know what happens when the Star Wars fan says their favorite show or a favorite movie? Do you know what they say? The other fan goes, you're a fucking idiot because this movie's the better one. Because that's how fandom works. Fans hear something and they argue about it and they roast each other because that's fandom. No one says all the fucking Star Wars. Nobody believes that. You have passionate fans from the original trilogy. You have passionate fans from the prequel trilogy. You have passionate EU fans, and they all will tell you exactly why it's their favorite and why they preferred. They will argue about it all day long. But no Star Wars fan just goes, I just love all the Star Wars equally. They can love all the Star Wars, but they do not love it equally, and they will argue about it all day long because that is how fandom operates. This is not complicated at all, and it's very easy to see when you have a phony like that, and she can't even give you an answer. It's the simple thing, too. It's like, just name a fucking movie. She couldn't even do it because she probably doesn't even know the names of the movies. All the Star Wars is my favorite. Get the hell out of here. I love all of them. I love all the Nolan Batman movies because I love all Batman movies. Every Batman movie is great because it has Batman. Nobody talks like that. No real fan actually talks like that. They say, you're an idiot if you like this movie, or you're an idiot if you like that movie, and it applies to anything. I can tell you right now, Dark Knight's my favorite movie. And you know what's going to happen? Even though Dark Knight's one of the most loved movies of all time, there's going to be people in my comments going, you're a fucking idiot. The Dark Knight sucks. It's overrated. And that's fandom. All the Star Wars, my ass. But anyway, this is where we are with Kathleen Kennedy, Leslye Headland, and Disney Star Wars. A complete and total disaster on every single level. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Raylos are weird. Fuck the Acolyte, and we will talk to you later.